Elly. Today I'm going to read you Ben and Betty's Pumpkins, Happy-Readers Level 4. Are you ready? Yeah! It was cold and snowy morning. Ben and Betty's grandparents came to visit. Grandpa had a big yellow bag over his shoulder. "What's that?" asked Betty. "It's one of my pumpkins. I grew them in my garden," said Grandma proudly. "Grandma is making pumpkin pie today," said Grandpa. Grandma, Betty, and Ben went into the kitchen. Can we help you, Grandma?" asked Betty. "Sure, but let me cut the pumpkin first. Then you can help me take out the seeds," replied Grandma. She cut the pumpkin in half and gave each child a spoon. They took out the seeds and put them in a bowl. "Are we eating these too?" asked Ben. "No, but we can use the seeds to grow more pumpkins," said Grandma. "Cool, I want to grow a pumpkin too," said Ben excitedly. "Me too," said Betty. "Okay," says Grandma, "you can take the seeds and plant them in your garden in the summer." At dinner, they all had Grandma's pumpkin pie for dessert. "I love pumpkin pie," shouts Betty. "It's delicious. I'm going to grow some pumpkins so Grandma can make more pumpkin pie," said Ben. "You can enter a pumpkin contest too," added Grandpa. "Sounds exciting," said Mom. A few days later, Ben decided to go to the library to learn about pumpkins. He asks Betty to go with him. "It's too cold outside," says Betty. "I'm staying at home today." "But we can learn how to grow the pumpkin seeds," said Ben. Growing pumpkins is easy. You dig a hole and put the seeds in," laughed Betty. Ben went to library alone. He read some books about gardening and took notes. He learned a lot about pumpkins. Pumpkins love sunshine. June is a good time to plant the seeds, thought Ben. Finally, it was June. It was perfect weather to plant the seeds. Ben and Betty went to the garden with Mom and Dad. Ben picked a sunny spot. "The seeds can get the most sunshine here," thought Ben. He made some small hills in the soil. Then he dug some holes in the hills and put 3 seeds in each hole. Betty picked a shady spot next to a big apple tree. "It's better to plant the seeds here, Betty," said Ben. He pointed to the soil next to him. It will be too hot in summer," said Betty. She did not listen to Ben. Later on, Ben and Betty watered the seeds. "How long does it take for the seeds to sprout?" asks Betty. "It usually takes 1 to 2 weeks," replied Ben. "But we need to water them each week." It was the middle of June. Ben went outside to water the seeds. Suddenly, he ran into the house. "Come and look, Betty," he shouted excitedly. "Little sprouts are growing." Betty followed Ben outside. "This is fun," she says. In July, the pumpkin plants grew bigger. They had lots of long green vines. Ben and Betty brought Mom and Dad to see their plants. "Well done," says Dad proudly. "I can't wait to see the flowers open, said Ben, that they will be very pretty. Every week during the summer, Ben and Betty also pulled out the weeds around their pumpkin plants. Ben's pumpkin plant grew very big with lots of yellow flowers on the vines. The pumpkins will grow inside the flowers, explained Ben. Really? Asks Betty in surprise. Look at the bees around my flowers, said Ben. What's so important about bees? Asks Betty. The bees can help the plant grow seeds and fruit. That's why they move from the flower to flower, replied Ben. Betty became worried. Her pumpkin plant had a few flowers, but not many bees flew around them. At the beginning of just green pumpkins appeared on the vines. Look, I have 12 pumpkins now, said Ben. Betty only had one small pumpkin. Why are the
That's normal. They'll grow bigger and turn orange in a few weeks.
Why are the pumpkins so green and tiny? Asks Betty. They're normal. They will grow bigger and turn orange in a few weeks, replied Ben confidently.
It's okay.
One day, Grandma and Grandpa came to visit Ben. Ben was excited. He had 12 big orange pumpkins. He could not wait to show them to his grandparents. Betty stayed in her bedroom. She was unhappy. She only had one small pumpkin. It also had a strange shape. Grandma wanted to see Betty. Grandma, why does my pumpkin look strange? Cried Betty. I did everything the same way as Ben. Pumpkins need sunshine, Betty, said Grandma. It's important to plant the seeds in a sunny place. Oh dear, I planted my seed under the apple tree, said Betty. I didn't listen to Ben. One day in September, Dad showed Ben and Betty activities in the newspaper. The autumn fair is coming, he said. They have pumpkin contest. Let's enter, Betty, said Ben excitedly. My pumpkin will look strange in the contest, said Betty sadly. Look, Betty, there is a contest for the funniest looking pumpkin, said Dad. Betty read the advertisement and smiled. Finally, it was the day of the autumn fair. Ben brought his biggest pumpkin to the fair. That's my pumpkin over there with all the other biggest pumpkins, said Ben to his friend Sam. He pointed to the table. Look, there's my pumpkin with the other funny-looking pumpkins, says Betty. It was time for results. And the second place, the biggest pumpkin goes to Ben, says the judge. Ben ran on the stage to get his ribbon, and the funniest looking pumpkin goes to Betty, said another judge. Everybody clapped and cheered. Well done, Betty, shouted Ben and Sam. Betty smiled. She was very proud of her funny-looking pumpkin. Done.
Very good.